Hello, anyone and everyone. I am Echo, and today we're exploring RealMyst Masterpiece Edition once again. This episode might be a bit of a clusterfuck, so let's just see how things go. First of all, I'm going to explain. I actually was wandering around. Well, not wandering around. I didn't do much moving. I was like tinkering around and trying things, and I realized that these power lines are connected to the ship. And then I remembered that there was the switches at the top here that are connected to the lines, and I don't remember what they're for. I know they're not the same as the marker switches like those, so I figured they probably have something to do with the power that goes to the ship, which I haven't actually tested this yet, so I hope I'm not making an ass out of myself by assuming this, but I'm hoping it means that by pressing those I can reset the power down here and let me do the press the buttons again to send power to the ship. So let's do that right here. Look at my notes real quick to make sure I'm pressing the right one. Yes, okay, now this right side is moving again. Okay. Now we have to get it to 59 volts, and I actually already did the math in my head, and that should be... Yeah, I already did the math in my head and, wrote down which ones I should press. So that should be the correct combination. I got it to 59. And now the door should be able to open. Right? Please say I'm right. Let's go check that out. We might actually have to press the switches again, I'm not sure. To actually, maybe that doesn't just reset it. Maybe that also, confirms sending the power to the ship. I don't know. Either way, I'm just gonna go try and open it here. Yes, it most certainly indeed does open. And now we've got this horrible music puzzle, which is, literally the hardest puzzle in the game. Because, we can, I think... Nope, we can't do that. Huh. Hold up. I thought there was a way we were supposed to be able to use the arrow keys. Never mind, I guess not. Okay. Yeah, this is I remember just from years ago when I last played this game, that's the hardest puzzle in the entire game, because we have to actually memorize the correct sounds. But we're going to be leaving that for last. That's the Selenetic Age. I remembered the well, I didn't remember the name for it. I found out what the names of each of the ages are. But anyway, I completely forgot before we entered the Mechanical Age last time that there's actually all these books in the library here that actually describe each of the ages. And I believe some of them give clues to some of the puzzles within the ages. So since we did the Mechanical Age already, I'm going to read that one first. This is the journal from the Mechanical Age right here. Whoops, I already scrolled through it. Should have gone back to the beginning. Okay. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and gray and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble and has trouble even moving. This man has obviously been through very many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He has told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills, which rose higher than the city. On the east hill of the city rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post, expecting visitors to arrive from the east. The people had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became as dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The The lookout posts' attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, the city sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I had decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea has sparked on my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I have begun work on a plan for protection. There's a diagram of the gear room. That's the elevator that we already turned around. And there's plans for each of the rooms. It's funny, the room labeled gear room, we can't actually get in there, I don't believe. Unless he's just referring to the top floor. Maybe. Yeah, that's actually probably it. That's probably the top floor. But those are that right there, and that right there would be the 2 hidden rooms that were next to Cirrus and Akinar's rooms. And this would be Cirrus's room, and that would be Akinar's room. And Cirrus even has the window, I believe, marked off in the plans. Anyway, after a short absence, I have returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of the nuisance that they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see as they work on small projects of their own. There's the raising stairs that we saw in 2 different locations on the Mechanical Age. One was the access to the levers that let us turn the elevator, and the other was where the linking book back to Myst was hidden. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world except for its gray sky. They detest the gray sky and tell me many times they wish the sky here were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me that the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experience after the attack. Inside the fortress, I have designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. Power on the left switch, track, slope on the right switch. Yeah, that's the thing we use to turn the entire building, as well as the simulator. That's actually the holographic device he's talking about. The simulator was in Akinar's room that he used to train the people how to turn the fortress, apparently. The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. Okay. So is that all he did for their protection? He put the entire building on a track and made it so that the entrance could turn to different places? Okay. Black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I cannot help but smile as I watch the boats leave. Insignia of the black ship. Moon with a cross dagger, by the looks of it, inside of it. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure, and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. But first I will have an extended time with Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the tide. I believe in my travels I have found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments they have long endured. I hope to return to Mechanical Age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here have a heavier darkness Oh, I'm confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. Okay, so yeah, I actually really wish I had read that before going to the Mechanical Age. Whoopsie, slip up on my part. Won't happen again, I promise. So that's basically the background behind the entire Mechanical Age. It's it doesn't actually explain if they had any other kind of defense other than being able to turn the fortress, which I suppose would have stopped the pirates or whoever they were in the ships from, from turning, crap, what am I thinking? I'm messing up my words, I'm sorry. I guess it would have stopped the pirates or whoever from being able to enter the fortress if they, move the entrance of it. And obviously, being that they were in a pirate ship, or not necessarily a pirate ship, I should stop calling it a pirate ship. Being that they were in a ship, they wouldn't be able to move quickly to follow the turning thing. And one thing I do want to point out real quick is that the sky here is blue. I only just now thought of it after reading that passage in the book, but the sky here is very clearly blue, and apparently the ship assault people, whoever attacked the Mechanical Age back then, their mere existence caused the sky to be black. And the only way to get the sky to turn blue is if they were all killed. And both of the brothers, Akinar and Cirrus, very much wanted that sky to be blue, but they supposedly listened to their father when he said not to bother with it. And I think that's actually a really nice detail that ties back into the dead guy that we saw hanging from the ship mast. I kind of have to wonder if that dead guy was one of the crew members of the ship that attacked them, and somehow the two brothers killed the entire crew and then set up the body of probably their captain would be the best example, to use. But they tied up somebody's body, like, as an example of, hey, don't mess with us. We want our sky to stay blue. I don't know. That's pretty interesting, though. I really like that detail. I'm very, very pleased that I'm noticing so many more details on this playthrough that I never noticed before, ever, in any prior playthrough. But anyway, the next age that I plan on visiting is the Stone Ship Age, because I don't remember what puzzle at all is required to get to the Channelwood Age. That's the one in the, up there. That one. I don't remember anything about the puzzle to do with that to get to the Channelwood Age, and I don't remember the puzzle to get in there, but I'm sure we'll figure them out soon. So the next one I'm doing is the Stone Ship Age, so let's read the journal for that next. Now, I believe that's right here. Yeah. Stone Ship. Okay. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were, a group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy would be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that is what the story... At least, that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second age on this newly created age... Oh, sorry. God, I'm messing up a lot, aren't I? Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. That is a submersible lamp. Okay. I guess that's just a diagram for a waterproof light, then. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it's created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no problem. Okay, and that's just a diagram for the top of the lighthouse. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I've set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think. Stone Ship Age, bird's eye view. So yeah, there's the big rock and like staircase going up around it. That's the ship that he apparently smashed into the rock somehow. And other little rocks. Okay. 2 days, I think. Yeah. There's no punctuation on that. So okay, it's the continuation of this. I guess I went the wrong direction or something. Alright, let me start again. I think of this age, as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They're all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials that they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them that what things will be like here in another 10 years. Constellations. Ah, these are actually, we need these. Well, actually, we don't need them quite yet, I think. Yeah, these are all symbols that associate with the symbols out in the like front area, the front of the building, with the different constellations meaning different things. So we don't need to write all these down. We just need to well, I guess I'll explain that in the next episode, because I'm actually out of time for now, unfortunately. But they correspond to these. The bird here, the cross, and all that. Or, not really a cross, I guess. It's more of a, yeah, I guess it's cross. Never mind. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, and that's all the time I have for now. I will see you all in the next episode. And if you got to the end of this, please consider leaving a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. In the next episode, we will be going into the Stone Ship Age. I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.